Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. It's good to be back down here. We got the forge warming up. We're gonna start banging on a knife today. I know I said that I was gonna make a knife for myself next, but I have to make one for my neighbor real quick because I need to order some things for the one I'm making for myself anyway. So you know, we're looking at a little bit of time waiting for the delivery on the things that I need. So we're going to go ahead and my neighbor wants a knife. It's actually for his wife. She has a survival kit in her car, and she needs a knife to put in there with it. Maybe a 5-6 inch blade, you know, nothing fancy. It'll be nothing like the Damascus we just finished up. It's just going to be a good, usable, you know, utilitarian type knife that she can put in with her survival kit, you know, in case she breaks down in the middle of nowhere, you don't know, whatever. So we're going to get that one banged out. It shouldn't take us real long. Maybe a 2-part video, maybe a 3, I don't know. You want to show as much as you can, but you can't run these videos out forever. So we got the forge warming up, and let's get to it. So here we've cut out a knife-shaped object out of a piece of leaf spray. We're going to grind these jagged parts off here from the torch, get a handle welded on it, and get to pounding on this thing. So we've got our knife banged out, and it's a warm day today. It's cloudy and overcast, but it's probably, I'd guess, at least 60 degrees out. And even with the garage all opened up the way it is, standing in front of this forge, it gets pretty warm. I don't know what I'm going to do this summer when it's 90 degrees outside. I've got this big fan that I'll probably use, and I'll set it up back here behind my anvil to where it's blowing at me. You know, you don't want it to cool off your stock because you want to hold your heat as long as you can in order to get as much work done as you can on each heat. But on the other hand, I mean, even now, it's just barely spring, and it's not even really a warm day yet, you know, relatively speaking. So it's going to be a tough deal this summer. I'm going to have to use my fan and what have you. I don't want to quit forging, but I'm one of them guys that run pretty hot anyway, and standing in front of that forge and over that anvil with that hot steel, man, I just start sweating. You don't see it in the videos, but I'm constantly, every heat, I have to walk away and walk outside where there, you know, it's just a little cooler, and wipe the sweat out of my eyes. I get sweat all over my glasses, and so I'm kind of dreading what it'll be like forging this summer. But it's not going to stop us. We're going to go ahead and forge when we can. Of course, I'll be working a lot then, but it'll be fun. So our knife is in the floor dry, annealing, and we'll be back here in a little bit once it's cooled off. It'll take it a couple hours. It'll be like right now for you. We'll cut that handle off, and we'll get doing some shaping. So we'll be back in a minute. Well, our knife's all annealed, and we're going to clean some of the forge scale off with a 40 grit flap disc. And then we'll get on the flat sander and see if we can't make sure she's flat. And maybe we'll start doing some shaping first. Well, there we are. We've got our rough grinds in. Got her shaped up pretty nice, I think. And we've got our pinholes drilled now. So now we're ready to get on with heat treat and temper, and then we'll start our finish work. So we're going to get the forge fired up and get this thing heat treated now. Well, there we have it, guys and gals. Pretty good day's work. We got this bad boy cut a raw piece of leaf spring earlier this afternoon, and we forged out a blade, got it all shaped, rough ground, got our bevels rough ground in, and our pinholes drilled. It's all finished work now. We got to temper it for a couple of cycles at 450 in the oven. That seems to work really well for me with this 5160. I'll temper it twice at 450 for an hour and 15 minutes each time. But she's nice and straight. No bows or bends. That's what annealing will do for you. You know, I think a lot of times when guys end up with a warp, because their piece wasn't annealed properly. Now, I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't, but it's just been my experience through trial and error. That's why I stick my knives in that bucket of floor dry, so that they cool down really slowly, because that really gets all your molecules in your steel straightened out and relaxes everything after all that hammering and pounding, and it just relaxes everything up real nice. And that way, when you've got your rough grinds and your profiling and everything done, everything has settled down, everything is straight. Then you go in for your quench, and it stays straight. I've quenched knives before that I didn't really anneal properly. I heat it up to critical and bring it out and just lay it on the anvil or something and let it cool down. And they never, I've had warps and things like that. So this thing, that skates a file like crazy, because check out the tang where we didn't harden it. Whole different sound, it bites right in. But up here, that file's not biting at all. I'd hate to have to file that final edge into that thing, because you'd be there a while, you know. So, there it is. We're going to go get it in the oven, get it all tempered up real nice, and then we can start the finish work, getting some handle scales put on it. And that I've already got some micarta that we'll use for scale liners. We're going to put 1/4-inch pins, aluminum pins in it. I've got some wood that my neighbor gave me, actually. It's one of the reasons I'm making this knife for him. He gave me some nice wood. And we're going to use some of that on his scales. It's that same brown wood that I've used on a couple of my knives, and he really likes it, and I thought it'd be cool to use some of that on his, and then we'll pretty much be out of it. So he gets the last bit, and well, it's not for him actually, it's for his wife. She's going to put that knife in her car as part of her emergency kit, and so that'll be good for her. I tried to fit the tang a little bit tight on my hand so that it'll fit hers comfortably. I'm sure she's got smaller hands than these big hams I've got, but I think it'll fit her really well once we get our scales on there and get them shaped up and everything. I think it'll make a good knife for her to carry in her car. So I decided not to do the clip point this time. I just kind of like the look of this knife, the way it came out. So that's that. So I appreciate you being here and joining me in the shop today. We're going to get this knife finished up. I may end up working tomorrow. I was off work today. It's Thursday. We may end up working tomorrow. Got a text from the boss this evening saying he might have something for me. He'll know about 8:30 in the morning. So probably won't get another chance to work on it until the weekend, but we will get it tempered tonight, and it'll be all ready for finish sanding and finish work. And I think, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking I might etch this blade also. I kind of like the look of some of that etching. We'll maybe try something a little different on this one, but anyway, appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button if you would. If you enjoy watching these videos, that way if you're subscribed, you know when when another one comes out, when I post one. So we'll call this part 1 of making a knife for my neighbor. So have yourself a good one. Get out to your shop, do something. Wear that mask when you grind. Please wear that mask. I'm telling you, I bought a whole box of them, and they're a little, I didn't even look at them when I bought them, and I bought small. And so they're really tight on my, around my chin and my nose and that, but they keep that crap out. And I can't return them because I've already opened it and used some. So when I run out of those, I'll buy some bigger masks. But you've got to have your mask on when you're grinding. If you're just kind of sweeping up the shop real quick or something, probably not quite so critical. But when you're standing in front of that grinder or using your angle grinder with a flat disc or a grinding wheel, there's a lot of crap flying around in the air. So you really need to wear that and wear some kind of safety glasses and that to protect yourself. So thanks for being here, guys, and looking forward to the next one. We'll see you then.